this video on House of Machismo podcast. It's House of Machismo.
Kids out there, take care of your bodies.
Yeah.
Don't do the stupid shit.
Tell me about it.
Albert, don't do stupid shit.
I'm trying to go for the squad at 500, man. I'm going for it. I'm going to shoot for it.
For what month?
Huh?
Like,
December.
December?
December, I got to squat 500, and then I got to bench 315.
Now,
That's it. Albert, can I interject real
Absolutely.
quick? So
You're fat. Don't do it.
No, I'm actually not fat enough if we're going to get this strong as we can get. But I'm an international strength coach. I coach guys at the Arnold, at the Olympia, some of the biggest drug tested and undrug tested powerlifting competitions. You can definitely squat 500 and bench 315. What are those numbers right now?
Right now, the highest I can squat right now is
100.
like with free weight, and I'm not doing the squat machine.
That's what I said. How much do you squat?
Yeah. Okay. Some people do ask those weird detail questions. Right now,
being nervous.
free weight, I can right now squat 315.
315, and you're going for 500.
And then bench wise, I don't know why, but I just have like a weird, like it's just like a mind trip when it comes down to just bench. I just barely hit 250.
No, that's good. That's good. You're a big long arm guy. Bench is tough for long arm guys. Man, do you want the simplest way to squat 500 fucking pounds?
Let's go. Tell me.
Okay, so you're 315. I assume that you're doing what I call a squat down to depth and back up. If you're not, address that first. But it's why don't you, if 315 is your max?
Yeah.
And we could get really complicated with this, but this is free advice for guys. Like, don't overdo the little stuff. So we got to add more weight to the bar. You're at 315. You got to add more weight to squat 500, right? So I want you to take it down to like 250.
250. Okay.
I want you to squat twice a week. I want you to add 5 pounds to the bar every time you squat. Do 3 by 5.
3 by 5.
And once you fail a set of 5, call me.
Got you. I was going to ask you a question because you do your rodeo.
Yes, sir.
You got your wrestling.
Yes, sir.
Powerlifting.
Yes, sir.
And then you also have your family life.
Absolutely.
I can relate to just having to balance a lot of things within 24 hours, 7 days out of the week.
And then the gym.
Yeah, and gym wise. How do you also try to cope with your mental side? Because all these things could be physical, but then your mentality of just like, all right, what does Damo like to do outside of all of this? What does he do to relax? If it is the gym, it's the gym. But maybe it's something else. Like, what is one thing that you do to unwind from everything that goes on in your life?
What an incredible pointed question.
That's good.
Yeah, no,
Wow, Albert.
That's the first time, fatty.
I actually think that's very insightful, Albert. 'Cause I'm having a hard time with that right now. I'm burning a lot of candles at a lot of ends. Is that how that goes?
Yeah.
It's a lot of candles. And I struggle with that day to day. And I think, I don't have a lot of opportunity time wise to fit some like relaxation or blow off time. But I've really lately been slowing down because I'm always in a fake rush and I've got to do all these things anyway, and it's not making it any faster. So just taking a mental breath and realizing that everything that I'm doing is either my dream or contributing to that dream. Because y'all know, y'all are living your dream right now. You're around a cool ass table in a cool ass studio, but how hard do you work to do it, right? So it's
not hard.
I got to mentally check in and be like, well, no, it's a privilege. You're getting up at 5 a.m. because you're doing something that leads to what you really want to do, not 5 a.m. to I don't know, or rather, let's say, what would it be like if you didn't?
Yeah.
What would life be like if you didn't? You'd be okay, but you wouldn't be doing no cool shit. You wouldn't have nothing to talk about at the end of the day. When I breathe my last breaths and I cycle back through life, I don't care about success is great, but it's like, man, I did all these things. I really used every phase of my life and exploited it and got the most vibrance and experience out of it.
Yeah, you can now say that every rock that you wanted to turn has been touched and moved.
At least I've made like an honest athletic attempt at it.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean? So
That's a really good answer. Yeah. All right, Albert, I want you to take that into your busy life and apply it.
I know. Yeah. That's why I asked that question, because it's like I'm balancing 2 jobs. I do also gym, and luckily I do get to have a workout during my work hours. So I do get to have that. It is a great blessing in disguise.
Absolutely.
What else do I try to balance a active lifestyle of I had to drop rugby.
Yeah.
So I started playing golf more.
Does it suck?
This is my number one hater.
Rugby's a fantastic sport. I always like rugby guys because
rugby's shit.
they train kind of like powerlifters. We can get along in the gym. It's a
Yeah.
lot of squats, bench, and deadlifts.
And then I ain't gonna lie, like, you know what? When Sauce told us that you were coming onto the show, he sent us like everything about you, and I really did check out the powerlifting gym, and I was like, you know what? I need to go in and just actually try to untap that potential that I'm possibly just hitting on a plateau.
110%.
And so what I was going to ask you now is that what plateau did you ever have or experience, and then how did you overcome it? It could be either wrestling wise, gym wise, rodeo wise, or just life wise. Like, what made you overcome that?
Sure. So as far as powerlifting goes, I accomplished a lot of things in powerlifting. I was never the strongest powerlifter. I did win a nationals, but you know, my talent, I think, was greatly realized as a coach, and I coached some guys that did some things that are just incredible. Like, I've got a guy named Nick Myatt, and our biggest plateau was he was 1,000-pound bencher, right? And we couldn't get that 1,000-pound bench in and judged good on the platform. We'd done it 8 times in the gym. Then it took us 8 meets in a row where this guy's dumping 1,000 pounds, and it's violent. He's dumping it out of his hands. It's hitting him in the belly where we don't know if he's okay, right? And 3 times a meet for 8 meets, and it's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And we finally, what finally got us through that was what kind of got us to the dance in the first place. Stop doing the fancy stuff. Stop trying to reinvent everything because you've never been here before, but what got you here? So go back to the basics. Concentrate, slow down, and just train. Just train. And that guy ended up benching 1114, 1,114 pounds, and a couple changes because there's a kilo conversion. But it's at the time it was the 8th heaviest bench in human history and the number 1 bench for anyone over 40 years old.
God.
So
damn.
we're very proud of that. Nick Myatt out of North Dallas Strength, one of my best friends.
Shout out to Nick Myatt, man.
Yeah.
He's a real G. You guys should have him on the podcast. He's a really colorful guy. He's not a wrestler. He's a power lifter. He's a really colorful guy, fireman in Dallas. He's
Sauce, get that done.
Now, get on it.
Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio, or wherever you stream your podcasts. Be sure to like our Facebook page and follow us on Instagram. You can also find us on our YouTube channel and TikTok.